idiots, to be fair. And doing stuff like this, you don't want an idiot around. And I am a stoner, so like I'm not like I don't know, I'm not dumb, but they're probably not used to people that are.
Oh, I'm sure a good percentage of them are potheads. Gotta break 25 walls or pallets or generators. That's one. I picked the game. That's two. Three. Four. Five. This'll be easy.
I don't know what they mean by trying with a couple different methods. What else? Like I know K used to regress trends, but it doesn't regress trends.
6. Seven. 8. Thank you, Ada. She's dropping everything. Nine. 10. They're all hanging around right here. Tinkering with the gens, are ye?
After your game, can you help me with something? I want to see if when I'm on Survivor,
What?
I can regress gens. I want to see if it works on Survivor. I guess I could have. Nah, yeah, you don't need to. I'll watch your game on. It's fine. I was gonna get you to come help me, but you really don't need to. And see how it works when I'm in a game with random people.
Ada's dropping everything.
The hell's that perk you got on top?
Pain resonance?
What's it for again? Is that 15% on the Scourge?
15% gen regression if I put them on the Scourge.
Honestly, it's a decent perk, but I feel like it's trash. I won't lie.
Why?
Because you have to get Scourge chucks, which is luck based. I feel like the meta perks are better.
That's like when it works, it's great. But when you can't get to one, then it's trash. But the reason why it's so good, I think, will be like probably what's going to happen right here. Alright, so she's still on hook. This guy's circling around. They're coming in
so
for...
what, does it have no cooldown? You essentially just get hooks over and over and continue pressuring gens across the map that way.
Yeah.
I guess that's somewhat decent because you can do that, but it's only one gen and it's the gen with most aggression.
Yes, but it stops...
Two different gens.
Yeah, but it's gonna stop them from completing that one gen that otherwise would pop, like probably right now.
I feel like I've had many instances where people have pain res my gen and then still haven't made it to my gen, but that's because I'm probably hyper focused and shit like that. But I feel like things like eruption and what's the other one? Called Brian. Maybe even fucking pop, even though you have to walk to a gen with pop, but it's after every hook.
No, pop I feel like not anymore because it's
I just think it goes better with
20%.
the kicking factor, because it all adds up to like an insane amount.
So the problem is if pop is on, if the gen with the most progress that you want to kick is on the other side of the map, like you have to get all the way over there after you get a hook. And you might have to drop a chase or something just to go kick a gen on the other side of the
But if
map.
you're using all the other just gen kicking perks, you're already kicking gens 9 times out of 10. That's your priority, anyways.
So you're kicking a gen somewhere.
It's already gonna be your priority 9 times out of 10. When, especially like on Killer, last couple of times I played Killer, I've been running it's called Brian Overcharge, Eruption, and Pop, which are all just you kick the gen perks. so like I'm always kicking gens, even though I haven't cheated. I don't need it. I just think it's funny.
I think the beauty of the Scourge hook is that like I don't have to go anywhere as long as I like here if I hook them.
It's 15%. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like I've been Scourge hooked many of a times, and then the killer will even try to get to me to like I don't know whatever the fuck they're trying to get to me, pressure the gen I guess or something. But they don't make it to me in time because it's just that 15% isn't enough. Unless you know that's the closest gen, but it isn't enough.
I feel like it's situational. Like it could be really awesome, but sometimes it's not. Like the RNG, all the Scourge hooks will be on the other side of the map. But when it really works is when you get repeat hooks, like with Nurse, I blink back and knock somebody down.
Repeat hooks, but you're also betting on the fact that you're not having an optimal team that's doing multiple different gens at the same time. Because you'd only be slowing it down at that point. You wouldn't be stopping it completely. Like you'd only be slowing it down very slightly. Like 15%. It's really nothing off a gen.
No, that's why I've been running that with Jolt, with Eruption. So it's like it blows up with Jolt and Eruption and gets...
Oh yeah, that is definitely good.
And then Pain Res on top of it if I can get it. But yeah, I don't know. You know, it's weird because I've thought about it and I've been like, no, I don't think this is the meta, and then I would take it off. But then every time I would go back to it, I would get more value than I thought or expected. It's weird. Like I would, on paper, I feel like it's not a lot, but for some reason, in practice, it feels like more than I think it would be. But then again, sometimes there are no Scourge hooks nearby and you can't get them on one. That guy was doing good till he just ran into some barrels. But see, these guys weren't really on a gen, so if I can keep throwing this guy on the Scourge hook, should be able to... Oh, that killed him. So... I don't know. It's like I said, sometimes it feels powerful and other times... But I know that Super Alf with Nurse got over 500 wins, and I still don't understand how this is like a 500 win streak with Nurse, and that was the only gen regression perk he was using. So I don't know if some of these people lower their MMR, or they play in certain times of the day when only certain survivors are out or something. But sometimes I really wonder, how can somebody get a 500 win streak, even with Nurse?
Well, what counts as a win to him? 3K? 'Cause that's...
No survivors escaping through the exit gates. So if somebody gets hatch... Actually, I think he says no survivors...
Well, it's essentially a 3K, pretty much.
Well, no survivors escaping through the exit gates... Or no survivors escaping, I think, with all generators done. Something like that. So in other words,
So it's a 3K. It's a 3K, or if they've done 5 gens.
if they've done all the gens and one gets hatch, I think that counts as a loss. I don't know.
Is, like, if you're playing nurse, like,
Yeah, but sometimes
Super Elf has been playing the game for a long. I've been hearing his
but
name around for
sometimes
ages.
I go against teams that it's like I can't even get one kill. They do the gen so
Also,
fast.
if they're doing those streaks, that they can realize when they're shit. Just don't go.
What? He's teabagging me, this guy.
I'd say they realize when they're going against cheaters really easily, so they also don't count those.
Oh no! In order, if he thinks it's a cheater, he's got to be able to prove it in order to not count the game. But sometimes I wonder if they are lowering their MMR somehow, or if they are playing certain times of the day. But there is one thing that I think can explain a good part of it. I mean, first of all, DCs with Nurse, you know, a lot of people just quit. But I do think that there is something that could explain a large part of it. And it's that when he was doing that streak, let's say Pain Res was a better perk, because not only would it blow up that gen with the 15%, but it would tell you, it would show you which gen it was. So with a Nurse, you could blink right to it and defend it and stop it from popping. That would be one thing. The other thing would be when he did the streak, there was the cracked range add-ons that made the second blink super fast to where you couldn't counter it. So it was like almost like a guaranteed down. And that's actually what got the range add-ons nerfed, was that he made this streak in order to specifically, you know, get her range add-ons nerfed, which apparently needed to happen. But either way, I would think that those range add-ons played a huge role. But I still feel like 500 straight is just weird, like hard to explain. Just because I've gone up against some teams that are so good that I just get rolled, and I don't even know like how you would deal with it. They pop out and get flashlight saves, and they're doubling up on gens. They body block. Then again, he had Starstruck. So Starstruck probably stops the body blocking aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like Starstruck, like I don't get a huge amount of value out of Starstruck, but it might have those other benefits. Like they're not going to body block you because...
They won't really want to be around.
She's here. She's something. Oh, there she is. She might get Hatch, though. Hatch is going to be downstairs. Man, she's running me. But I'm bloodlusting. Oh, time's up. I think the range add-ons were a huge thing. Maybe the Starstruck. I feel like I don't get that much out of Starstruck. I'm lucky if I get a down or two. The Smart Survivor is just... they go into hiding.
Scared of you.
What?
Scared of you. They don't want to get fucked up. Nerves and shit all the time.
But they would just, I feel like they're just, you know, if you have Starstruck, they just go into hiding, creep around, they work on a distant generator or boon something or whatever. They wait it out.
Yeah. A little bit. But they're not doing gens.
They might be doing farther ones on the other side of the map.
Yeah. But usually as killer you're trying to pressure like an area anyways.
I don't know. Some people say Starstruck is like OP on Nurse and it's just no fair and it's like the greatest perk on her. And whereas other people say now a good team will know how to play around it.
Oh, it's definitely you're going so scared though. It'll make it well, it will force them to play around it. I guess scaring isn't the right word. It'll force them to play around it, which means they can't body block, they can't be near you, they can't do those types of things, you know? That's spread out.
Yeah, so maybe it's more valuable than I realize.
But then again, if they're a good team, they're spreading out and efficiently looping you, you're fucking yourself, because efficient gameplay, just saying.
I mean, how do you counter that anyway?
Yeah, true.
So what would be the best build on her then?
Or, just all order.
All aura, but if they have distortion...
One guy with distortion is gonna ruin your whole day? You already said when your own words, if the fucking person's using a bunch of aura reading, then distortion's kind of useless. Eats up your stacks.
All aura, so you go like barbecue with...
Lethal, I'd think. Lethal, barbecue, nowhere to hide.
Floods of rage.
Enough.
But what about gen? What about gen regression?
OP. That's what I mean. After that, you could just put on something for gen regression. I don't know what's a decent gen regression for.
Like deadlock is automatic, or gen kicking. Eruption.
Doesn't your blink attack count as a basic attack? You can go with jolt, or does it have a cooldown?
No, it doesn't actually, but it only works if you're close.
Yeah, it's like what, 30 meters, 32 meters, like a basic tear radius meter. In your nurse, you should be efficiently fast getting your downs. They shouldn't have enough time to really get that far away.
Some people do. Some people run really far.
Well, isn't that more of misplay than anything? Because even
No.
holding W, I don't think they can get too far. Like maybe they could get 32 meters. Like I guess barely. They could barely make it like 32 meters. But I feel like Nurse Blink, if you perfectly blink and they're perfectly running straight, like could make it unless it's misplay.
A lot of people that are good, they break line of sight, and you don't know where they go, and you're forced to predict. And if you predict wrong, you lose a lot of distance.
Are you really forced to predict?
Yeah, because you can't. Well, you could follow them.
Depends on the map,
you could say
I feel like.
you could say following them, but at some point, if they keep breaking line of sight, you depends how
That's
they
where it
play.
depends on the map, I guess. Because if you just get fucked by RNG and you can't get no line of sight on them at all, then that's just what can you do? What can you do? I don't know. I think that's the only thing that Nurse has against her, which I guess really good players know to use really well.
So
Maybe not.
Not what?
I said maybe not Jolt, but I don't know. I think Jolt would be good.
I mean, the other one is like deadlock.
Deadlock isn't too useful.
Some
Like,
people say it's
yeah.
meta. Some people say it's really good. I don't really like it that much.
I don't think so.
I don't like stuff that just
I
stops
hear
the
a lot of
gens.
big YouTubers saying it's meta, and I really don't.
I
don't
don't
know
like
why,
I
but
don't like
it's
things that
good.
really stop the gen or that pause the gens. I like things that regress them.
Like, I guess the main thing is if you're at fairly high MMR, the fighting point, or the thing people be saying is that you can't, 2 gens can't pop at once, so you'll always be able to pressure the gen at least.
Yeah, it
But,
stops
like,
them from chaining gens.
I don't know.
So you think Jolt's better than Pain Resonance?
Oh, 100%. I really don't think Pain Res is all that good of a perk. I really don't. Like, it's a decent General Rush perk, but compared to all the other General Rush perks in the game, I don't think it's very good at all. Oh. It'd be a lot better if it just didn't have the fucking the stupid scare chuck. Oh.
Well, that's
having it go to a certain hook just really puts me off about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, in the you know, the Starstruck nurse build that Super Alpha runs, you would have Pain Res, but you have Starstruck. And Starstruck gives you it's your terror radius, but he would also have agitation that would make it so your Starstruck is wider, like bigger by what, 12 meters or something. But it would also, agitation would not guarantee, but it would give you a much better chance of getting to a Scourge Hook because of the speed that you could get to one. And then they would run that with Floods of Rage, so when they got unhooked from the Scourge Hook, you would get an aura read on everyone. But then he actually switched that Floods of Rage over to Awakened Awareness, which is when you're carrying somebody. So he would carry them with Starstruck and Agitation and have aura reading, Awakened Awareness, so he could see people that are around. But that's only 20 meters. I like this one. This one's a bigger read, and you get it when you kick a gen. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Nowhere to Hide. But I feel like if you have Starstruck, do you need agitation, or should you have agitation to make it bigger?
Starstruck and agitation. I think agitation would be mainly to catch people off guard, but not knowing that you could catch them.
With what? Speed?
Yeah.
But once they realize you have it.
Yeah, it's a type of thing. But then it's also, I'm guessing Super Elf also used it to get to Scourge Hooks. So I had 2 uses.
To get the Scourge Hooks, but also it increases the Starstruck range.
So I had 3 uses. Not decent synergy by the sounds of it. It's just, it synergizes around Scourge Hooks. Scourge Hooks... Oh.
But not...
Nurse is really quick at downing, so I guess it's really good for her, 'cause she can get downs really quick and then hopefully get to the Scourge Hook really quick and then immediately down really quick and get to the Scourge Hook really quick. So like, it makes sense. On most other killers, Scourge Hooks are trash. You just can't get downs quick enough for it to.
I think a lot of it's more about extending.
There's only 15%, so the 15% is only useful if you're downing quick enough for it to be useful. Which on any other killer than Nurse, you won't do. Maybe Blight. Maybe if you're really good at it.
Well, the other good combination is Pain Resonance with Dead Man's Switch, because it'll blow up the gen 15%. And
yeah,
if
but that
anyone's...
one's really easily counterable, and I see people countering it all the time even when it isn't. Like,
if they're on a Swift, right?
Really popular. Well, yeah, I guess that too. Yeah, that.
But even Eruption can be countered with a Swift. You just call out when you're going to go down.
Yeah, but Eruption is less likely to be countered because it's a lot hard to tell exactly when you're going to go down. Even on a Swift, you can call I'm going to be down, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be down right then. then you're just wasting time. Like, it's hard to tell that you're gonna go down. I don't know. It's harder to tell you're gonna go down than, hey, I'm getting put.
Break 50 walls, pallets, or generators. What? 50? I just did 25 on the game. It's so weird. Everybody's got different opinions because I thought Jolt was pretty good, and then I've heard people say it's really not because they'll run you away from the generators, and if you down them,
They
you
can. Yeah, they will. They shouldn't be able to. Be 100, especially if you're nerds. Like maybe if they're playing really safe, healing, and then come back and run really far away and playing really safe. Like as long as you're pressuring the gens and then they get, I don't know, fed up or something. You should be able to get an easy down near the gens.